So who are you?
I am Jen Gilburg, and I work for Verisign as our Director of Business Development, focusing on our consumer authentication solutions.
Ooh, now what is a consumer authentication
I know, it's such
solution?
riveting. I know, everyone's jealous they don't have one. Really what Verisign's looking at is ways of protecting users as they go online.
Okay.
And there are several areas that users need protection from various different malwares and the fraudsters that are out there, and largely we're focusing on authentication, so making sure when you go to a website it's the site that you think you're at, and also making sure that your accounts and your data that sits behind those accounts are protected by a second factor of strong authentication. So
probably banks care about this.
Banks do. Actually,
even
we're seeing,
blogs, right?
You know, what's going crazy right now is fraud is not just going after bank accounts. And what's interesting is consumers are probably more worried about their personal information than they are about their financial. Because they know if someone steals my credit card, I can get reimbursed. That happened to me. I had my wallet stolen before Christmas. All the money put back in my account. Minor inconvenience. But if someone goes in and takes over my Facebook account and emails out to all of my friends on Facebook that I need money because I'm about to lose my mortgage, can you Western Union me? And this has been happening. So that type of stuff, it's hard to get back that reputational damage that can be caused by fraud. So username and password is not enough anymore. It is very easy to compromise a username and password. So our solutions are something you know.
Plus, most people, passwords, they're still not picking good enough passwords.
Exactly,
right?
and what's
and
funny
they're using
is
the same password on every service. So
exactly, and there's a great blog, I believe it was in the New York Times a few months ago, where a guy asked his friends if he could try to break into their accounts. And he went to the I forgot my password, saw what questions were being asked, went out on the internet, found the high school the guy went to, his mother's maiden name, and was able to break into those accounts through the I forgot my password mechanism. And I was thinking, gosh, my siblings, I have 4 siblings, I could break into any one of their accounts because I know their mother's maiden name, their pet dog from when they were younger. So really, username and password isn't strong enough for any type of account online. So our solutions are the something you know, which is your username and password, which each site is responsible for. And then we are the something you have. And the something you have is a one-time password. And it can be on your cell phone. It can be on a credential. So I have a little show and tell here. So that's a one-time password. It changes every 30 seconds.
Wow.
And then on my cell phone, same thing. That changes every 30 seconds. It's a applet that you can download to your iPhone or your
now, how does that work? 'Cause I've always seen these systems, and I don't understand how they work.
So the high-level, not too deep-dive technical answer is in this is a shared secret and an algorithm. So we work with what's called the Oath algorithm, which is open authentication token hardware, and it's a open standard technology. And we have, there's a secret in this
Oath
credential.
is used by like Flickr or some
a lot
of
of
these
them
websites.
are used, but that's OpenID. So there's OpenID, which is a universal login.
I thought open authentication was used by Flickr as well.
There's
to share.
OpenAuth, but this is Oath, which is different. So there's OpenAuth and Oath. They're running out of good acronyms. That's what's happening. Pretty soon they're going to have to add numbers to the end of these too. So the algorithm, so in here is a shared secret that we have in our back end. And so the algorithm produces the number, and then through a web services API, PayPal, who uses our technology, would send up the number that's presented by the user. And we say, based on that token ID and that shared secret, we know that the algorithm should be producing this number. Yes, that's the right number, sends back the approval, and the user enters in. And all that happens within seconds. So that's sort of the not too techy.
By doing that, you know that you have this device on you.
Yeah, so I've bound it to the accounts. And what's neat about our solution is that you can have, as a user, instead of having a pile of tokens that you would need to get into all the different accounts, with our solution, you can have one token that allows you access into any VIP account. We call it Verisign Identity Protection. So we have a logo that appears on the sites that are in our network. Today it includes Geico, America Online, PayPal, eBay, etc. So you look for the logo, you see it, and you know you can use your token there.
Okay.
It's similar to the old ATM networks back in the day before when debit cards first came out. You could only use your debit card at your bank.
Yeah.
And then the Cirrus and Star networks came out, and so you could take your bank card, look for the logo, and if you saw it, you could use that card at the bank. So that similar paradigm that we're doing is.
Now, if I'm building a social network, let's say I'm one of these startups in the Valley who's building a social network or a game that has a bunch of members and stuff like that, how do I buy this, or
So
how
you
do
would
I?
contact Verisign, and it's a web services API, so it's a very simple, you don't need to set up a server farm with Oracle database and Radius and all of that. You just basically use our web services API and you link up to our site, and then you pay Verisign a service fee, which is a monthly per user fee. We call it pay as you go. So it's really easy to sign up. You don't have to prepay anything. And then as users bind tokens, you pay for the users that bind their token on a monthly fee.
Oh, very cool.
And we have a program called Developer Test Drive, which allows any developer to go and download the APIs and see how easy it is.
Yeah.
So if you Google Verisign Identity Protection Developer Test Drive, you'll find it, and I should have the URL, but I don't.
Very cool.
Sorry.
We'll try to put it underneath.
Okay,
So.
you can append it to the end there, that'd be great.
Very cool.
Yeah.
And it's that easy, and
Yep. So
Pretty
so again, consumers are less concerned about their financial, and really the areas who should be using this, the gaming sites. So interesting anecdote: Blizzard, who does World of Warcraft, started issuing tokens about 8 months ago, and they had pre-ordered 20,000. And within, I think, a day, they went through them, and people were selling the token on eBay and getting $95 for it. So sites who think consumers don't want to protect their accounts should really talk to their consumers.
Yeah.
Because consumers want this, and
Oh,
on the
absolutely.
gaming
I mean,
sites, you're investing all this time, and if someone
my son's on
hijacks-
World of Warcraft,
Yeah,
and
and
he's spent 1,000 hours
Oh,
on there.
exactly. And if someone went in and stole all his gold bars or whatever the widgets are on World of Warcraft, he'd be bummed. So,
Yeah.
and there's no way to recapture that. There's no way to recapture if someone gains access to your online
What's the
medical
fee,
record.
by the way, for something of the scale of World of Warcraft, which has millions of users? What's the fee to buy a token?
So I think they charge the consumers. They sell through the token, which is a few dollars. They're not using our technology.
Yeah.
But it's a good use case for two-factor auth. So I think they charge the user $5 or $6 for the token, and then they pay a service back to their vendor,
Very cool.
which is a few dollars a year. So
Very cool.
yeah. So
Well, thank you.
Yep. So I think with regards to any type of protection, it goes beyond gaming and financial and healthcare and other things.
Yeah.
So it's,
Well, certainly not like Google and Microsoft are starting these consumer health services, and people still are. I really don't care that
Yeah.
people know that I have kidney disease, but
Yeah.
other people want to protect their medical data and
Yeah.
medical stuff that they're putting into the
Yep,
systems.
and there's also this online there's so many uninsured medical or uninsured Americans. I think the number is up to 46 million, and it's really easy to collect enough data on someone and sell a record on the black market. And the cost of a medical information gets more in the black market than financial.
Yep.
And if I'm uninsured and I can take someone's data and fake them and go in and get medical coverage for a huge discount, that's what we're seeing. So the need to protect these medical records is growing because people aren't just going after because they want to find out if you have kidney disease. They're going after to find out if they can sell your data to someone who's uninsured, and that could be usable.
Very cool.
So
Well, thanks for showing this to me.
Oh,
It's
you're welcome.
interesting to see.
very exciting.
What the
Watching
latest.
a number change every 30 seconds. There's a demo. So thanks.
Thank you.